A breath before the storm, the page was still, his hands on stone, his heart not yet his will. The seer's eye watched from the oculus above, unblinking witness to his life and love. The unworn helm beside the door lay bare. He dared not place it, though he knew it there. The sealed grimoire, unopened, whispered low, but silence ruled. He had no cause to know. No footstep passed, no trial stirred his name. The waiting bore the waiting just the same, and absence stacked until it broke the frame. The bell was struck, and with it rose the flame. The bell tower chime rang sharp through temple skin. The page looked up, its echo cracked within. He pulled the helm, the metal kissed his brow, and all he feared became the here and now. He seized the lance, its weight both new and old. It hummed with motion, heat that would not hold. The script ignited, letters bled to shape, his name etched twice, for purpose and escape. But fire speaks not gently when it calls. The floor gave way, he crashed through temple walls. A vial broke upon the stone below. The smoke arose, and what he was let go, the shattered vial spilled a violet fume. It drew a shape of shadows in the room. He stood and saw the world had turned askew. The vow was stamped, the blood was fresh and true. The chronicle began to write its verse, a margin wide enough for truth or curse. Each act, each breath, each blade that struck or missed was met with ink, revised but not dismissed. Yet logic snapped beneath the vow's demand, for cause was crooked by an unseen hand. The fire lit again without a spark, and something moved beyond the edge of dark. The flame rose up with neither smoke nor ash, no source, no match, just pulse and sudden flash. The page looked on, it lit his inner wall, a shape of truth too quick to name at all. He crossed the bridge that wasn't there before, a moment's span, then gone, no trace, no flaw. He stepped, and with the step, the path withdrew. The world reformed behind each breath he drew. The tome split wide, a mirror split its face, revealing thoughts not bound to time or place. The laws unmade, his past became a gleam, and every fact was folded in a dream. He heard a voice within the bones beneath, a song that sang of sorrow held in sheath. The page bent low, his hand upon the dust. The bones still hummed, the silence built with trust. The gauntlet bore the scars of strikes long past, its etchings deep, a script that held and lasted. Each mark he felt awakened more than pain. It named the ones who bore it, lost but plain. He took the threads and bound them into form. The codex wove their echoes into norm. No single truth but harmony of tale, a woven mind that knew each break and scale. The wind sang soft against the temple's side, and where it passed, the hanging bell replied. The page stood still and let the note pass through. It changed him as the moment always knew. He weighed the blade, then stepped from stone to grass. The scale at hand, he let each judgment pass. Not force, not fear, but balance in the arc. A motion felt, not measured in the dark. He opened maps that folded with his stride. Each step redrew the place he stood inside. The world revised with every pulse he gave, a path that flexed between the wild and brave. The fire sang back when the page raised his hand. It curled around his fingers like a band. The choral flame did not consume or burn. It voiced itself in him, and he in turn. Each step he took aligned with earth and air. The spur caught light and shimmered, smooth and bare. His motion answered every pulse and stone, not chasing fate, but moving with his own. The manuscript no longer fixed its lines. It breathed with him, rewriting its designs. He lived the thought, and thought through every move. A page become the pen, the world his groove. The crown of glyphs descended from the skies, its symbols fused with stars behind his eyes. The page now saw in full what once was blur, direction made from all things that occur. He drew the sword. It pointed straight and true, each stroke composed, not wild, he simply knew. No fury drove him, only sharpened peace, an edge that struck then vanished with release. The archive rose with pillars cut from light, its halls aligned with every inner right. His choices built the world from root to dome. A structure born of motion made a home. But homes can split where music strains to play. The harp bent low beneath what it must say. His will pulled left, his longing pulled him right. And every chord rang broken through the night. The The chain he wore was rusted at the links. Each act he made replayed old, bitter kinks. He fought with style once pure, now overdrawn. A night rehearsing battles long since gone, the oath book writhed with verses out of key. It told 3 truths, but none could let him be. The page stood still, his blade now dull and torn. The structure cracked from where the song was born. A mask of echoes fastened to his face. Its form was not his own, but fit in place. The page had worn it long before he knew. A name that came before the self came true. The shield he bore deflected ghosts, not foes. Each step he took was shadowed by suppose. He raised it high, though none had drawn their blade. The threat was past, but still he stood afraid. The scroll case sealed the truths he would not test. It held the dogma he once called his best. Now rigid paths refused to match his tread, and every step betrayed what they had said. The archive fell. The scripts were split in ash. The song went mute. The blade broke with a crash. The page cried out, but no one knew his name. The world forgot the dream from which he came. The fire curled cold. The crown became a chain. The sword struck stone, then echoed back his pain. The grimoire screamed and sealed itself again. What once was whole now scattered by his pen. And in that dark, dismembered from the frame, he saw each object, known, but not the same. Without the ties, without the tale aligned, he found what none could give, his naked mind. The wind returned and moved the bell once more. The world reshaped, not as it was before. The mask came off, but not as something lost. He kept its echo, knew and bore its cost. He sang again. The song was not alone. It rang through stone, through scale, through flesh and bone. The blade was raised, but not to strike or rain. It was a bridge through passion, thought, and pain. The archive opened, not to speak, but hear, the wisdom co-authored, the voices near. The page walked forth, no longer just a part. He was the cord that bound the world to heart.